Hey everyone, it's Full Self Driven back again with another video. It is November 2nd. We are on 2024.32.10 still, version 12.5.4.1 of Full Self Driving. And yeah, we're just going to get this drive started off. We don't have a necessarily just highway or just city, but we're going to be on the highway just for a short distance and then be taking the back roads the rest of the way to our destination. Got a few different destinations in GPS for it to navigate through. Starting this right off from our parking space that we park at work. Let's see how much the system will do on its own. We're in a 2023 Model 3 running hardware 3. We've yet to get the update for end-to-end yet, where it's all one stack combined, highway and city. Right now we're on the city stack. We're going to merge into the highway just for a short distance, and then we'll be back on the city stack. It's going to come to a stop sign. It's going to have to make a right turn and then get over 3 lanes of traffic into the far left lane to then make a U-turn to merge onto the highway. Excuse me. So it not only has to pay attention to turn out into traffic in this lane, but it has to have enough time to get over all 3 lanes into that turn lane over here where this car is going. We have plenty of room. There was no cars coming, so that was all right. So whenever the car goes to complete this U-turn, it's going to have to watch the cars that are coming out of this parking lot because they don't ever watch for us. Like an instance right here. And then we're going to have to just squeeze into our position. We're going to merge onto the highway here. And you'll see this is still in city stack because you can see it's in auto. And it doesn't have a set speed. Whenever it changes from auto to a set speed is when we're going to be on highway stack. It'll just be for a short mile, mile and a half or so. But it'll wait till it merges, and then here, right around, where the white cars are, is where it should switch over. And there you go, it just switched from auto to set speed. Getting off here at the next exit. Harsh braking there for a second. Make a right when we come up to this stop sign. Actually, I believe it's a stoplight. Yeah, it's a stoplight we're going to be coming up to. It's going to be making a right-hand turn. Green, so we can make this right. And this lane ends, so it's going to have to get over. It already knows what's going on. In the more recent updates,
Daniel says, how alert?
Everything's going well, thanks. Yeah, and the more recent updates has been doing great, getting out of lanes or getting into more precise lanes that it needs to be in, opposed from sitting in the lanes until the lane ends last minute and it doesn't have room to get over, there's cars in the way. It seems to do a much better job here, just even in the last few updates. So here we've got a car head on with us. We slowed down a tad. Just backed out of that driveway and hadn't gotten fully out of our lane. Typical Amazon drivers around here, so we're prepared to see those, but the car's not obviously always ready for a car head on. Didn't slam on brakes, it handled it very nicely though. So we'll be making a left, not at this light, but the next one. So any minute now, hopefully we'll get the green. I've seen a lot of people in forums and on YouTube talking about how their car doesn't get up to set speed or doesn't do well in the auto. They were saying on the update that I'm on that I think a lot of times when they see a red go from red to green traffic light, that the car will hesitate or not go on green. I haven't really encountered any of these issues. Maybe once I've had to push the accelerator at a green light, but I mean, for the most part, I have had minimal issues whatsoever. I always hover my foot over the accelerator because if you drive FSD or if you use I'm not sure, I don't think autopilot does it, but FSD, if you disengage, it automatically starts doing regenerative braking, applying brakes, and so if I need to brake, I already know I have enough time to, disengage or turn the wheel and the car to start slowing down for me to switch over to my brake pedal if I need to. Whereas the car phantom brakes way more often than it has trouble or issues braking for something. Very rarely have I ever had where the car will act like it's going to run into something or run into another driver on the road. So I always hover my foot over the accelerator, just anticipating whether or not. So the monitoring system went off there. I had just too late there. But I wanted to make that left. We'll just exit out of that and have it route us hopefully the rest of the way. That's good. That left turn back there just eliminates having to come up to this traffic light. It also gives it a little bit more of a challenge for it to make a left-hand turn at a stop sign, especially at that intersection the way it's laid out. But it's fine. We'll come up to the stoplight, we'll make a left here, we'll be on the same road we were just going to turn onto. Most recent earnings call update, Elon said that if hardware 3 is not capable of unsupervised full self-driving, then anyone who has paid for full self-driving will get a free upgrade to probably, I'm assuming most likely from what people are saying and just how it's going to work, probably a 3.5 computer or something, not AI 4 or hardware 4, but something that, they're probably going to create a new computer that'll fit into our cars, our hardware 3 cars, without, putting in all new cameras and so on and so forth. They'll just upgrade the computer, and I don't think the one that they have in the Highland and the Y, I'm not sure if that actually fits into the hardware 3 Model 3s. So they may just have, you know, like I said, a new one that they're creating just for our cars. And, you know, it's all in talk right now. Nothing's actually been set in stone, and I'm sure there's a lot more to come. And, you know, it could be a year or two before we even see this upgrade going into cars. But it's at least been spoken about, and now we have an idea of where Tesla stands for the people that have paid for full self-driving and, you know, bought it back when it was 15,000 versus, you know, the 8K it's at now. And right there it just had some phantom braking. I had to put my foot in the accelerator a little bit because it just hit the brakes really hard. But yeah, at least now we know where Tesla stands, where they're not going to screw over all the early adapters that paid more money than everyone else for said software. You know, I'm really hoping, I don't think Tesla will ever do it, but I'm really hoping that sometime, you know, they're licensing said software to said person, but only to said person's one vehicle. You can't get a family subscription. You can't pay more for multiple cars. They don't have it figured out, at least how I think the model should be, and where they would receive a lot more money, and also happier people that, you know, because most people aren't going to get it on both their cars. They're going to have it on one car or the other car. Right there, it just told me to please put a slight force to the steering wheel, even though here the green dot still shows my attention monitoring is active. So that was really weird. I'm not sure. Maybe it was just telling me to pay attention. Maybe I was looking off into the camera to make sure it was still on, but that was really strange. I'll have to look back at the footage. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe it was just saying, please pay attention to the road. Yeah, even with this guy that was just going 32, he starts to speed up. Now he's going over 40. My car speeds up to over, 40, right around where I'd want to be in my auto. And I didn't have to do anything. I didn't push the accelerator. I haven't done anything differently. I've been in full self-driving, just sitting here, letting the system do its thing. Yeah, I see a lot of people talking about, different instances or different issues they're having, but I don't have these issues. I don't have said issues whatsoever. It needs to get into the right lane because it's not making a right at this light, but the next light up there, it'll be making a right at. So it's anticipating already that it's going to be making a right-hand turn up there, which is good. Like I said, it gets up to speed just how I'd like it to. It's not at 40, but we're coming up to a red light and we're going to be making a right-hand turn, so I understand. I have no issues whatsoever with the speed offset. Whether it be my max speed offset or auto speed or whatever I have set. No problem whatsoever. So if you have issues in the comments down below, please comment. Let us know what version you're on and what hardware you're running, just so we have an idea of how everything is. That right lane that no one's in is going to be a right turn lane here in about a quarter mile or so. It'll turn into a right turn only. Yeah, my attention monitoring system might be a little strange. I do have a baseball cap on. I know Tesla advises that it doesn't work with that, but I found that it works 95% of the time is when I wear my hat. This right lane also is going to make a right, not here, but up the next stoplight. It'll make a right-hand turn only, so it needs to stay out of this right lane and stay in one of these two lanes right here. So we've got probably 20 more minutes or so in the drive, maybe 15. So far I've had to tap the accelerator for a phantom brake, and other than that, the car has done everything. Does an amazing job now of when it turns green, if it's not the lead car, it stays back, it starts to move to show that we're paying attention, but it doesn't accelerate into the car that's stopped and then slam on brakes. It's just easing off the brakes slowly until there's enough room for the car to accelerate. And it does it so smoothly, in my opinion. It's virtually, I feel like it's pretty undetectable that I'm not the driver and that the car is driving itself and doing everything. Aside from a few things here and there it does, I mean, I think for the most part, nobody would have any idea that AI is completing majority of the tasks and getting me from point A to point B with minimal to no intervention. A lot of drivers think that it only works on highway, it's not made for city, it's not supposed to be used for city use. That is very much incorrect. Full self-driving has city and highway stacks, two different versions. They're merged on majority of cars. Well, I'm not going to say majority of cars. They're merged on all newer cars nowadays. Soon they'll be merged on hardware 3, which is, I feel like, majority of fleet, obviously. And for the most part, it is it's getting unbelievable how well it is. And this is I believe the second time that a family member of mine has received a full or a free month of full self-driving. I have a few family members that have Teslas as well, and they absolutely think it's amazing, because they don't pay for full self-driving, don't have a subscription. And I'm sort of just kind of a nerd. Love the whole idea of it, love the concept of it, especially, not on a weekend, but during the week. You can only imagine in Atlanta how much traffic I have day to day, getting home from work or getting to work, and it just makes it so much more simple, paying, $100 a month for basically a private chauffeur to drive me around, and I just have to sit there and pay attention. Sure, you could get a driver that's going to do everything for you and you can take a nap in the back seat and not worry about it, but But it's going to cost you, I would assume hundreds, if not $1,000, plus a week or a month, I have no idea, probably a week, and I just think for what it is and what it does and how it keeps progressing, and it's only getting better, it's got slight imperfections here and there, but for the most part it is an incredible piece of work that not everybody get to experience, not everybody even knows about. And so I love being able to film and record that aspect of it and show everyone, This person just got right in front of that guy, and now this guy just wants to tailgate him when he could have just gotten in front of me. I mean, I wasn't going faster than him. He had plenty of room to just get over. There's not many turns on the left up here, so he's most likely going straight. Show you how it does on the turns here, staying in its lane. Got over the right a little bit, which I feel very comfortable with, especially with other people driving around and people curving in the lanes and maybe cutting over. Really does, though. He does an amazing job for what the system is. It's going to have to get over in less than half a mile. Going to get over right now, it looks like. It's going here. We're going to take that destination off. We'll have it enter the parking lot on our last destination and park and whatnot. We're now just slightly over 9,000 subscribers, so we cannot thank you enough for everyone that has subscribed to our channel, that likes our videos, that's commented, that's given us pointers. Cannot thank the community enough for all the support. We really do appreciate it. I have not forgotten. I am still thinking I'm going to do a giveaway probably around 10K subscribers. People, drop down some suggestions down below in the comments of what you think I could give away. I've really been going back and forth with a couple different things. I might post a poll on my channel and let the viewers vote, but if you drop suggestions down below in the comments, that would be amazing, because I definitely want to do something to give back to the community. We just started doing our uploads, in April, I believe, was our first upload. March, April is when we started recording videos, and so we're not even, we're 6 months in, I believe, or something like that, 7 months in, and we've had great feedback from everybody on YouTube. I mean, cannot thank you guys enough. We are so close to being monetized. I mean, probably after this video is uploaded, we're in our last, I think, maybe 200 watch hours or something we need. So, and we average about 100 to 200 watch hours per video. So, we're still low. We're still on the low scale, but we really do appreciate everyone's support. And we're still working and growing to try to do better and give more, and we want to give back to the community and our supporters. It was really hesitant there. It started to go, it stopped. It's probably because of this biker that wants to be a jackass and cut everybody off. I mean, sorry to say that, but they want to share the road, and then he just goes head on with a car at a stop sign. And it's like, you're definitely not sharing the road. I mean, you're not even trying to stay on your line. You're purposely well over the double solid line, going straight at a car. My car didn't freak out. Luckily, it didn't swerve and hit the curb or do anything too crazy, but I was paying attention to the car on my right. That I thought that's why the car was being hesitant, and I think the car was hesitating for the bicyclist that was, I don't know if it was on the screen or not. And right there, did you just see that phantom brake? I mean, it just slammed down to 30 miles an hour, and I have cars behind me. Like, luckily this guy was far enough behind and he was off to the side a little bit, but it's doing it again. I mean, I have not had this at all on this road. It's not even driving. Like, I almost had to take over there. I thought I was going to try to go into that other lane. It's driving really poorly on this road compared to how it normally does, which is, it's crazy that it can do things fine, and then it does things where it acts like, and maybe it's the sun, but there was no sun when we were just coming down around that first curve. I've noticed that this version has issues with the sun, and it, in front. And somebody's commented recently in my last video and said that apparently FSD, I'm not sure how, don't take my word for it because I'm not sure how accurate this is, but they would say that before FSD in older versions where it wouldn't throw up that message and be so glaring and basically be like, I cannot drive the rest of the way, like take over immediately. You would very rarely ever see those, and I see those, sometimes multiple times a day now. With I'm gonna have to take over for this turn because it just does not want to slow down, and there's too many cars to allow it to go over the solid lines there on that curve. I just did not want to risk it. But yeah, someone was saying that before the car was just driving blindly, that it wouldn't pop up that error message and it wouldn't make you take over because the car was not necessarily could see, but just wasn't so sensitive to not being able to see. So I'm not sure how real or how much of that is actually true, but I have noticed how poorly it does on this version with the sun coming in. I even cleaned my windshield front in and out exterior right before this drive just so I wouldn't, have that in as an issue. Well, it did, like I said, it did 95% of the work. I really do get a little too frustrated, but it bothers me when the car is slamming on brakes and there's another person behind me that could easily rear end me. I mean, that guy wasn't even tailgating me, and I feel like he had to do evasive maneuvers because my car was doing dumb stuff that it should not have ever been doing to begin with. You know, if it couldn't see and that's why it was slamming on brakes, well, it should have told me. Or, you know, if there was a shadow and that's why it phantom braked, you know. It'd be nice if I hear that FSD is going to start telling us more about what's going on, or issues with the cameras, or, you know, what exactly is going wrong with the system. But I don't know how well that's going to work. I don't know if they're even going to actually be able to pinpoint. So right here, it just got into the right lane of the left lane, but exactly it's going to have to get back over now, right back in front of this SUV, because it needs to make a left not at this turn, but the next stoplight up there. And it did speed up just ever so slightly for that yellow light. And now it needs to get over. It's not good. I don't think it's going to be able to make this green light because it needs to already be getting over, because this guy's not going to get over. So it didn't wait, it did get over, but now we're going to have to wait at least through a little bit of the light cycle to make our left-hand turn. But like I said, for the most part, I mean, it does 95% of the driving, at least in my area, around where we live. I've seen other areas, it does incredible sometimes and does very poorly other times. About a minute away. We'll let it pull in, and then we'll find a parking space and have it park itself. But aside from that one road where the sun was coming in and it was having issues with phantom braking, the car did every single bit of the work for us. And I think those few cases that we have where the system's either, you know, hitting the brakes a lot for nothing, or, you know, flashing an error message because, you know, the sun is too bright and it's just being too sensitive or whatnot. I don't think we would have those issues if we weren't in this Hardware 3 car. Like, you know, if we had a AI4, Hardware 4 vehicle that we were using as well, which I might try to get a family members just to test that theory, but I don't think that they would have nearly the amount of issues with the updated cameras and updated computer. And surely, you know, those will be out of date here in the next year or two, but for now that seems like what's necessary to get a good drive. Thought for a second there it was going to make me take over because the sun was in my eyes too, but it is going to make a left-hand turn up here right before the stoplight. So where you see this micro center sign, it should make a left here. So, we are even in our space. We're a little crooked for these other cars that are parked next to us. But, we're pretty even in our space. So yeah, with that being said, thanks again for everyone who tuned in. If you've watched this far, thanks. We appreciate everyone. And please comment, like, subscribe. Let us know what you want to see more of. Let us know what version your Tesla's on, if you're running full self-driving, or if you just use basic autopilot. Thanks again for everyone tuning in. Until next time, later.